Hello everyone, this is Romario with a new Legacy video, and I've got a good one for this video. A fan favorite, Smallpox, or Pox, depends how you like to call it. But before we get started, like always, I kindly ask you if you can hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, any feedback, any comments. I love to read the comments. I love to see feedback on card choices, deck choices, lines of play that I took, or lines of play that I could have taken. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to try this deck. Pox is one of the decks that I've, seems to be like a fan favorite. I played a bunch of times, and to be quite honest, the reason why I own a Tabernacle in paper is not because of lands, is because I really wanted to play Pox like way back when Pox was still running cards like Sinkhole. And I think over time it kind of fell out of flavor, like just kind of got crapped out of the format, and like I mean power crapped out of the format, and I new cards got printed. For a while it was like really rough to play cards like Liliana the Veil, and like I mentioned, Sinkhole. But so I was pretty happy to see that there was a new list that has been putting up some results in the leagues. I don't think I've seen the deck do well in a challenge yet or any bigger paper event, but I did see there was had a couple of 5-0s, and it piqued my interest. So I'm pretty excited to try this in this league. But yeah, so this is like a version of like I guess people like to call it Loam Pox. So it's like, I guess if you call it Pox, it would just be like mono black, but like no, you add green, then it's Loam Pox. But this list, I guess I can start from the new cards, right? So the one of the cards that like I saw some people commenting like in some of the discords on my that I look, even locally, some players like to play Pox. They mentioned this card. It's this card called Eumidian Hatchery. Eumidian, I guess how you say it. So it's a newish card. It's a land that you can pay 1 life, tap, add a black mana, and you can put a counter on it. And then when this card is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, you create a 1/1 black insect creature token with flying. So it's a little different than the insects that you get from Grist, right? Those don't fly. And these are, I believe they're just black, right? I think the Grist ones are green and black. So a little different, which makes it a little annoying if you're playing this in paper. You have to have, well, you don't have to, but you do have to represent different types of tokens. And if you like me and you like to buy the actual physical tokens, or if you like to make your own tokens, you have to bring 2 different types. I don't know why I'm going on this tangent, but so that's the newer card that like people were like, well, maybe it can work in Pox, and you hear Pox and new card, and I mean Smallpox and new card, you're like, all right, well, this is probably a fun deck, a casual deck, like no. But again, I saw the deck putting some results. I was like, well, maybe there's something there. And earlier today, from the day that I'm recording this, I played a league on stream with this deck, and the deck looked real. I made a bunch of mistakes, and I'm glad that I did those while I was streaming and not while I'm recording. So that way, maybe the level of play on the league on in the video will be a little better. But regardless, I had a ton of fun playing this deck on stream, and I was like, no, I really got to record a video of this and try it. So the list is playing Bayous as your green-black source of mana, along with Underground Mortuary. The deck does run 3 copies of Swamps, but no basic forest, and it's pretty obvious if you play with the deck for a little bit that you notice that you don't really need to worry about too much about like making green mana. Like let's say if you're under a Blood Moon or something like that, because you do have Mox Diamonds, and all your green casting costs are like only one green. Well, there is Hogaak, but that doesn't really count, right? So you only need 1 green for your green spells, but for the black spells you do have Smallpox, and that's kind of tough way to cast it. Like let's say if you're under Blood Moon, right, or Magus of the Moon. So if you can have 1 basic swamp plus a Mox Diamond, that should be able to cast a Smallpox. And all the green spells, like I said, you can just have 1 Mox Diamond and you should be good to go. So that's one thing I noticed. Like, so there's basic swamps but no basic forest. Then it fetches, of course. You're playing a green-black deck. We've got Bloodstained Mire and Verdant Catacombs. Again, we are playing a mono black deck, so really you could even play Polluted Deltas if you want to fake out your opponent that you're playing like blue-black Reanimator or something. As long as you have fetches that can fetch black swamps, it should work. And then the other cards that we have, so 2 copies of Boseiju. The card is just like hits a bunch of stuff. It's excellent against decks like Mystic Forge, and as someone that has been playing Mystic Forge, seeing Life from the Loam plus this card, can be a nightmare. Depends how long this keeps going, like how many turns it goes unchecked. So it's a very strong combination of Boseiju and ways to recur it. There's another copy of Ghost Quarter, and I also believe this is also for decks like Mystic Forge, maybe like lands, like so you can have like another copy of Wasteland. But decks that don't run basics, of course, this is just like a 5th Wasteland, right? And then, of course, the 3 swamps, and then the 2 Underground Mortuaries. That card, for the little bit that I played, it seemed excellent in this deck. Just being able to try to find like a 3rd land. Usually that's how it comes up. Or you have a hand that's kind of stale, like you need to draw. Yeah, I'm basically describing the Surveil ability here, but it does make a difference. Like there's some decks that I played Surveil lands that they were like kind of lukewarm. But this deck, for some reason, at least the matches that I played with this deck, it seemed like the card really performed well, the Surveil land. But yeah, like sometimes you have like a hand that's kind of like lukewarm. Like the last thing you want to see is a Mox Diamond, and then or you're playing against combo, and the last thing you want to see is a Fatal Push. Like it definitely helps. And it seemed to me that the most cases that you just want to bridge from land number 2 to land number 3, and Underground Mortuary helps with that a lot, right? And then, of course, there's always the cases when you just see Life from the Loam on top of your deck and you just put it in the graveyard, or you see a Hogaak, you just put it in the graveyard, and then you don't draw a blank card, right? You draw a card that you can actually cast. Then there are 3 copies of Urza Saga. And again, this also makes sense because you don't have to go to having a Saga token plan, but you still play a deck that requires colored mana to cast your spells, right? So I think 3 might be the correct number. If you were going to play 4, it makes sense too. But I think 3 seemed to be the correct number. And then of course now the fetch lands, the Wastelands. I mean, we're playing Life from Loam, Wastelands. Yeah, great. Mox Diamond, great in this style of decks too. This is actually, it kind of reminds me of how 4-color Loam used to play. Then we have the Zuran Orb. Zuran Orb, it seems, it's a sort of like I won't say combo, but it's got synergy with Eumidian Hatchery. And okay, now sounds, again, I'm going to sound like Captain Obvious, but I did play against a couple of tempo decks. And just the simple fact that you can just sack one of your Bayous or Saga to gain 2 life when they try to wasteland you, it makes a difference. It's a little bit, but it does make a difference. There were also times that like you needed more cards in the graveyard for Hogaak, and you just sack a land. Like, let's say if you have no more fetchables, like or if you already have like 4 mana in play. So if you have 4 lands in play, you draw your 5th land. It's a fetch land. You want to put a Hogaak, you can fetch and then sack the land, and that makes enough land drops. I mean, not land drops. Enough cards in the graveyard that you can cast Hogaak. There's plenty of situations that Zuran Orb seem pretty good. Pithing Needle is just like a catch-all card, like that you can find with Saga. Lately in Legacy, I've been aiming 2 things: the backside of Tameo and Nomad's Encore, or basically anything that has an activated cost from those decks that plays not do, right? And then the 2 Fatal Push was, I think, I didn't create a deck, but just a Fatal Push, right? It's like a removal spell. Then 4 copies of Thoughtseize. I think this deck definitely needs something to do on turn 1 when you don't have Mox Diamond. Because, if you get your 2 drops, then you get better options, right? You got Life from the Loam, you got Malevolent Rumble. But if you don't have Mox Diamond in your hand, having a Thoughtseize to help you bridge from turn 1 to turn 2, that's probably the best you can do with this deck. Then 4 copies of Orcish Bowmasters. The card is very, very good against blue decks and things, mana dorks. This deck does have like a little bit of a mana denial plan, right? Also, very, very important, Orcish Bowmasters plus 5 cards in the graveyard, and you can cast Hogaak. It's the best way for you to cast a Hogaak. Then we have the namesake card of the deck, or the second half, right? We have Smallpox. Smallpox, very good with Eumidian Hatchery. You put some counters on this, you cast Smallpox, your opponent loses their land, you sack this, you make a bunch of you make a bunch of insect tokens. And if you have Life from Loam, you can just bring it back, and then etc. etc. If you have Zuran Orb, you can do it again later. Just that's the name of the name of the deck. It's a card that's your deck is designed to take advantage of the symmetry of Smallpox, right? And then we have the 3 copies of Life from the Loam. That again, you're not a lands deck, so you don't have to play the full set. It's okay a lot of times for you not to loam Life from the Loam. For anybody that had played the old 4-color Loam deck with Chalice of the Voids and Life from the Loam, it was a deck that also used to run only 2 copies of Life from the Loam, generally speaking. And that's something that it took a while for me to learn. It's decks like this. It's a deck that gets to play Life from the Loam. It's not a Life from the Loam deck. So there are a lot of situations that you can just cast Life from the Loam, get your Wasteland, your Saga, and a fetch. And the next turn, you don't have to loam. You can just play the lands from your hand and just get your draws. There are none of those canopy lands that you draw extra cards. You don't have a Saga. I'm not Saga. A Thespian Stage Dark Depths combo. So Life from Loam is just like another tool of this deck. So which is great because it's a very good strong card in this deck. But if you run into a deck that Search for Extract your Life from Loam, or if you get Endurance, and you can still operate under those circumstances, right? Malevolent Rumble, it's sort of like an impulse cantrip, I guess, for this deck. And it's crazy how much the token matters too. Like when you casting your spells and you want to try to figure out if you can cast this plus something else the same turn. There were a few times that I would play this, and if you had a Pithing Needle in hand, you just cast it with a token. There were also sometimes that I would cast this and you find an Orcish Bowmasters, and that will using the token to make the colorless mana, you can just cast Orcish Bowmaster too, all in the same turn. And so yeah, Malevolent Rumble, very amazing card. Also another card that has synergy with Life from the Loam. And then there's 2 copies of Opposition Agent. That one, it was a little puzzling to me, but again, it also helps on the quote-unquote mana denial plan. I think decks that play Green Sun Zenith can be a problem for this deck, so that also helps with that. Excellent against Doomsday, of course. I hate to say Doomsday is one of the decks that still has a special spot in my heart in Legacy, but obviously very good against Doomsday. Of course, any deck says tutoring, opposing Urza Sagas, Opposition Agent is also very good, right? That you can't get to the last chapter and find whatever because Oppo Agent stops you from doing that. And then, excuse me, the 2 copies of Grist, again, is another card that makes tokens that can help you cast Hogaak. You can also put Hogaak in a graveyard. It puts lands in the graveyard. You can find new Life from the Loam. It's a removal spell. It does everything. Grist, amazing card in this deck. And then we have 2 copies of Hogaak. Again, it's just another card that you can just cast from the graveyard. You have creatures that can tap for the Convoke cost. This deck's pretty good at filling up the graveyard. And you don't really need any of the spells after they are in the graveyard. You don't have any ways to recur anything. So yeah, just a very good card. It's the biggest beater. It's very good against tempo decks. Usually it's the biggest creature on the board. Most times can trample over even things against Murktide. So yeah. So the main deck looks really good to me. I couldn't really think of anything I would change, if I before playing more matches. So, and looking at the sideboard, we got 3 copies of Dread Knight, 2 copies of Toxic Deluge. That's a card that I haven't seen in a long time. Well, actually, both of those cards I haven't seen them in a long time, being played. We got 4 copies of Leyline in the Void, 1 copy of Nihil Spellbomb. Again, going blue, or sounding like a broken record at this point, saying how Legacy is format that there are a lot of powerful decks that interact with the graveyard. So having Leyline in the Void plus Nihil Spellbomb seems very good. Nihil Spellbomb is another card that you can find as a Saga, and Leyline in the Void is just, in my opinion, if you want to beat graveyard decks and you're not even playing blue, but if that's your goal, I think Leyline in the Void is probably the best card you can have. And then there's another copy of Pithing Needle and 4 copies of Null Rod. I'll start with the Null Rods first. So obviously this person, when they built this deck, they were worried about the Mystic Forge decks, and obviously decks like No Storm also get some splash hate. But yeah, 4 copies of Null Rod. That's a statement. You really don't want to see your opponent step in their green monoliths and etc. Then the Pithing Needle. We can think of a million targets right now in Legacy with this card. I think like I said, the Nadu decks are they have a bunch of targets you can name with Needle. Decks they're playing Tamio. I believe some of the like Painters, another deck that like Pithing Needle shines to. And then of course now I mentioned the 2 graveyard hate cards. Then Toxic Deluge. So that one, I'm not really sure how much I like this card in this deck, to be quite honest. I don't really like against the blue-red tempo decks because losing life against Dexter pointing bolts at your face doesn't seem very good. Against the Nadu decks, I think it's a little bit slow. I think I would probably want something else instead of Toxic Deluge, but I'm gonna try that card. I'm gonna see how it goes. I played a ton of Toxic Deluge when it was first printed. I think it was like in a Commander set. If you guys have been watching my streams and for a while, remember the days of me playing Sylvan Plug. So yeah, I'm a fan of the card. I just don't think it's very good currently in Legacy. Dreaded Knight. So this one, it took me a little while for me to actually realize the reason why I brought this card is here. Core Steel Cutter is a deck that I just posted a video not long ago, a couple of days ago. The creatures that Core Steel Cutter create, they are white. One thing to keep in mind, and that's a little different, I guess, from paper to Magic Online. It's maybe it's not so intuitive when you think about it. The first token that they create with Core Steel Cutter will survive Dreaded Knight. So they will have a 1/1 token because of the +1/+1 from Core Steel Cutter. The other tokens that don't have Core Steel Cutter attached to it, those will die to a Dreaded Knight -1/-1. But still, if you have a Dreaded Knight, they can go wide with Core Steel Cutter. They still get the prowess from that 1 token, so just gotta keep that in mind. And it seems really good, but it's weird that if you really want to shut down Core Steel Cutter, you have to have 2 of those in play. It's never, if it's a sideboard card, in my opinion, it's never a good idea to hope that you draw the second one when you have 3 copies of it. But still, even the first one, I think it's very good. Like I said, we are playing a deck that's playing cards like Orcish Bowmaster and Grist, that can just put creatures in front of a 1/1 creature. But just something to keep in mind, and I think that's something that it's a little not different, the same rules, but I think in paper some people might have it doesn't seem intuitive to me. I had to double check with one of my friends to make sure that's how it really works, to make sure that Magic Online wasn't bugged on this. Also, it's pretty good against Nomad's Encore, which I think if I do get paired against Nadu, I'll probably bring this card too. It's good against the Ocelot Pride deck too, that we've been seeing doing well too. It doesn't completely shut them down, but it's very, very good, right? Maybe on turn 1, it does a lot. Especially now that they're also playing Mother of Runes. Dreaded Knight versus X1 or X/1 white creatures, especially like Mother of Runes, it's excellent, right? So yeah, I think the only card I'm a little iffy here, that if I was gonna play this deck, if I was gonna just play my own list, I think a Toxic Deluge is the one that I'm a little iffy. But everything else in the deck looks super cool. The list looks super tight. It seems to get pretty much everything covered. It's probably a little weak to combo most of those green black decks. You kind of just have Thoughtseize and Prey. But we do have opposition agents and Mana Denial, so maybe that's enough. And we have some graveyard hate. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to play this deck and see how the league goes, and we'll see how round 1. Let's see if we can get a win in round 1. All right, so we're here for round 1. We'll be on the play, and I think this end is fine. A bit on the slow side, but I think it's fine. And I think I'm gonna start with a fetch land. Not sure what we're playing against. Now I might want to get Underground Mortuary. All right, so seems like it might be. I mean, it could be a blue black reanimator or tempo. I feel like the decks are getting a little more common nowadays on Magic Online too. In leagues, I'm sorry. Challenges, I always see like good numbers of these decks, but maybe not so much in leagues. It'll be kind of interesting trying to find a Wasteland here. That guy can definitely go to the graveyard. I think I. Two lines here. One, I can try to fill the graveyard with putting a fetch in the graveyard or Underground Mortuary of Mox Diamond. I think I can. Also, just I could try to run Grist into Days, but I don't know if I'm interested in doing that. I guess I just gotta Bayou here. Not a Hogaak goes to graveyard. I play Days here. I think it's kind of okay. Yeah. Next turn I can just play Hatchery. Oh, cool. All right, we're playing like not not playing against the decks I was thinking. So we're playing against Hogaak too. All right, so I think I'm just gonna play the Hatchery. So if I find another Bowmasters, I can play my Hogaak. All right, so I'm gonna do that, and I can kill their feature supplier. And I can cast my Gak. I can actually step all three of them in. So Thoughtseize can go Rumble. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're. I'm actually thinking about this one because if they're playing reanimation spells, maybe I want to remove the creatures on my graveyard. Move Gak, Bowmasters, and then do spells. I mean, they can always reanimate their Hogaak, but I was looking at this card. I was like, "What card is it?" It was a Blood Gas. And just the art threw me off for a second. Satyr Wayfinder. All right. So they can play their own Gak, but we have Grist that can kill their creature. Unfortunately, I don't have like, even though we're like a deck that has a lot of like utility lands, I don't have any Wajuka bogs or anything like this. So I'm gonna get Saga, Boseiju, Mortuary maybe? Yeah. You have counter magic? No. Alright, so let's play Saga. Um I'm gonna play Grist. Cool. Alright. So I definitely want these things. You know, probably want Nihil Spellbomb. Probably need Needle. Position Agent doesn't look as good neither. I mean, I know it stops fetch lands and stuff, but it doesn't seem great. But maybe Toxic Deluge is a good one. Um, The Wasteland seems still good in this matchup. Like when they had a lot of non-basics in their board. I feel like Thoughtseize might be correct, but what about Smallpox? I don't think so. Like we saw, what did I see? So Bloodghast, Hogaak, Zeta Wayfinder, Days. I mean, Thoughtseize is a good way for me to take Days out of their hand, but you know what? Let's try this. And Smallpox is still relevant when I'm playing Hatchery, right? So, right. Maybe Toxic Deluge should be in here too, but this hand seems way too slow, I think. I'm just gonna put one of the Leylines back. I feel like the first one's probably gonna get Force of Vigor, but Force of Vigor hits 2 targets anyway, so if I have 1 or 2, it doesn't matter, right? They can. Oh, okay. Cool. I guess Force of Leyline was the right call. All right. See how it goes in round 2. All right, so it's round 2. I'm lost a game to play. And I think this hand's good. I'll make my best impression of being a lands deck. So I'm not planning activating Saga next turn. Thundering Falls. All right. I think I'm going to try to find a Wasteland. Did not find a Wasteland. So next turn, start going on the Saga plan, I guess. As we're playing against the Sneaking Show, then I can put a Grist in play. Of course, Steel Cutter. Okay. I guess just unholy hit that guy. Okay. You're going to attack. All right. So I can make a token. I think I'm just going to get a Mox Diamond. Discard this. Oh, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can exile my graveyard and cast a Gek. Why do I have to do like this? Magical line. Oh, that's right. They have to be. I haven't cast a Gek in a while. I need to find a Orcish Bowmasters, I guess, or get Grist to create some tokens. They're already at 12. I think it's 2 spells to do damage to. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. I'm gonna swing for 7. Yep, I guess I'll get Wasteland. Oops, Wasteland. Saga Mortuary. Play Saga. No, I'm gonna hold. I think I have to hold back this guy. And they still don't have Delirium. Okay. So as long as I don't have another bolt, I guess I'm fine. Do I want to use Life from the Loam? Mm, I mean, drawing like a Bowmasters would be probably my best bet here. Um, Smallpox, Opposition Agent, Opal Agent, Thoughtseize, Malevolent Rumble. Right. So Gak has entered the battlefield. There's a do Wasteland down. I'm gonna play a Zuran Orb. And I guess I have to attack here. And I can gain 4 life. Cool. Alright. So it's a Core Steel Cutter. I guess I should just bring the Dreaded Knight. I don't think Opal Agent's that great here. I don't think Needle does enough. I mean, part of me wants to bring Leyline and shut down Murktide, DRC. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna do this. Zuran Orb is good. I think Smallpox. Yeah, Smallpox still has some value here. Alright, it seems alright. They can stop 2 of their plans. Like they have the Core Steel Cutter. The Hogaak in my hand is kind of a mulligan, but it's whatever. Okay. I guess I'll play the Orb now. It doesn't really matter if I play now or later. It's just better against Wasteland, right? Instead of just losing your land, I can just gain 2 life. Actually, I think I'm just gonna take a draw. Oof, that's rough. Again, I think I'm just gonna be patient here because I don't need to play into any other stuff. Well, now that I have Bowmasters, I should try to find land number 2. Okay, Petty Theft. I'm just going to discard Gak. Yeah, I think this would have worked out if I drew another fetch. All right, so clearly the hand is like counter magic. They're gonna stifle me. Oh, they are. Okay. Well, then I guess in this case, I am going to discard Leyline. Second DRC. All right. Maybe they counter this. I mean, it's not great for me because now I get 2 triggers too, but like I said, I didn't find anything. Cool. All right, let's try again. I'll try to play this. Dreadnought is not a card you see very much these days. I was joking. Well, not joking, but not the last episode, but the one before the podcast that we record. We had Adam as a guest, and he won a showcase event with Death and Taxes, and we were telling him that how cards like Dreadnought and Engineer Plague, or I'm sorry, yeah, Plague Engineer, they don't really do as much as they used to do in the past, like against Death and Taxes, because a lot of the creatures have like 2 toughness and all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have 5. I have to sack a land. And then I can put Gak in play. I'm not sure. Oh, cool. Yeah, so probably just attack with this, right? And they have a Murktide. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a 7/7 Murktide. Oh, they're gonna surgical. Interesting. Okay, so now they can make an 8/8 Murktide. All right. Well, except that they're going to probably not gonna have Delirium after this if they, yeah, 7/7. All right. So that's 10, 11. So yeah, I have to attack, right? They can block with both. I think if I draw lands, I'm okay-ish. That's 10, 13. Maybe they don't realize that these things are white. I guess I'll just bring this. I draw a land. Oh Jesus! Why can't I just number 2? All right. If I attack with a team, I wonder if I should have just pinged them with the Bowmasters trigger. Maybe I messed up that one. Yeah, maybe. Well, I was gonna take 3 more damage, right? And then attack Murktide as 10. I go to 2. Yeah, I'm not sure. They're gonna make Murktide bigger. I think I messed this up. One, two, three, 4. Okay. This is Exaxis. Yeah, it's exact 12. They can also like equip this now. Yeah. All right. Not my best play there. I think Smallpox maybe not as good. I mean, I just want to draw 1 in the game. I don't know. Maybe Nihil Spellbomb, I guess, for obvious reasons. This is, yes, the Smallpox is, it's all right, right? Like if I have the hatchery, then this card is okay. If I don't have it, I actually like this hand. Okay. Probably just put Zuran Orb back, right? Maybe Mox Diamond. Yeah, I don't think I need to go fast. Just play this. Play Zuran Orb. We can pass. All right. And if they start with a non-basic, I can just Wasteland them, I think. Yeah, we're gonna gain 2 life too. You can put the land on top. Some reason they decide to Wasteland me again, and I don't have a green black land, then it's terrible for me. I think I will Wasteland them though. And I'll swing for 1 again. So some of the lists, they only play 1 basic island and the rest is all non-basics. So Wasteland them multiple times. Not crazy. I even like if I draw Boseiju. I think I can try to speed things up here. All right, so Life from Loam would be a good draw. Bowmasters probably be a very good draw too. Yeah, definitely Life from Loam or like another Wasteland probably would be okay too. Yeah, probably even Boseiju this. Basic Swamp. I feel like I'm just gonna lose to a big Murktide now. Unless I draw Smallpox. Yeah, no, I think I just need to draw. I mean, I'm hoping to draw here Life from Loam and maybe get those 3 things back, and then Grist is not a bad draw neither. I have a lot of live draws. Gotta draw them. I'm playing a deck that does not have any library manipulation, so I wonder if it had been like 2 insects, how much more pressure, like just looking at how much they're spinning their wheels, like, I mean, they just have Core Steel Cutters in hand and they don't, you know, of course, because of Dread Knight, then makes them a lot worse. Oh. Yeah, I'll gain some life. Alright, deck, give me a Life from Loam. I'm just gonna do this on their turn because they're playing Stifles, right? So don't want them to have the extra mana. Yep. Yeah, I think it's looking like I'm just gonna be one of those games that I'm just gonna lose to a big Murktide. It just didn't draw any pressure, but maybe they don't have anything. All right, let's try to find something. I'm gonna put it on top because if I think they show me search for extraction, right? So like I don't want to. I don't want them to surgical in my graveyard. Like they can counter and then surgical. It is a play that they can make, but ooh, they're gonna have to bolt my insect. Wasteland, Hatchery, Wasteland. All right. They might have a search extraction, and that would suck. Unless I draw another Dreadnought, then all these tokens should die. I shouldn't have 6 because they have Wasteland there. There's 6 life. Huh. Let's play Rumble. I'm gonna get Dread Knights. Oops. Okay. And I cast it. Cool. Alright, so I need to draw Orcish Bowmasters now, or I kinda just hope that they fire this Wasteland. I mean, the Hatchery would be okay too, I guess. There's 6 life, so let me see. They have 1. So there's 1 volcanic here. I'm gonna hold on to this Boseiju. Okay. They have 4 life now. Let's see. Yeah, 1. Did they exile anything? Or there's 1, 2, 3. So they do have another one in the deck. So yeah, I don't think it's. I'm just gonna hold on to Boseiju. Like I don't know if there's anything they can. Anything that they might cast. I feel like if I just Boseiju them, the only thing I'm doing is just give them a second volcanic island. This is irrelevant now. There's 2 Dread Knights, right? So I don't have to kill Core Steel Cutter. I'm just trying to make sure that I do have some understanding this. Okay, I think that's fine. I do have 2 cards in hand that Smallpox. That's a good one. Yeah, I can also hold on to the Boseiju because if I want to, I can try to kill their Wasteland. Let's say if I draw Saga. Then I want to kill the Wasteland and then play my Saga. That's a DRC. Okie dokie. I guess more lands is better. This also puts them at 2 life. Let's card a Mox Diamond. Let's take a swamp. I know I have Mox Diamond, but there's a chance that they brought like Meltdown versus me. They discarded Unholy Heat. Okay. Nice. They don't have. Okay, so now this becomes a 2-mana Wasteland, right? I think. Is that a mortuary? There's already a mortuary here. Okay. So play on land, what it means is that I can gain 2 life. I mean, I guess I can fetch and thin my deck out, but maybe I should do that. I can get a Bayou. Okay. Cool. All right, so I'll make a token. And this is super relevant because they are a 2 life. So 1/1 token. Very relevant. An interesting game of Magic the Gathering. Lightning Bolt my token. That is not cool. Second Boseiju. Let's see what they got there. Uh-huh. Okay, so there's no more tide coming down in this game, I think. I don't think they have a second source of blue mana. I don't think they can fetch here. Or I don't think it fetches for any land. They might have... No, they don't have it. They could have Steam Vents, but I don't think they did. Alright, tight game. I mean, I know it didn't look like it, but it was... Delver can easily do a lot of damage with Core Steel Cutter, so I think at any moment they're like... On those turns that we just went draw go, like no, if any of those turns my opponent had on the Murktide, could have been a different game. Yeah, alright, so this is round 2. Let's see how round 3 goes. Alright, so round 3 with some more Smallpox. Also the perfect time for you to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. I guess I'll keep this one. Against Delver again? Or the Painter? Find out in a second. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and bolt myself on turn 1. Oh, it's like one of these decks. Alright. Okay. I think I have to take Burning Wish. Nice. So Ruby Medallion, Mountain. Okay. I'm gonna play this. Ghost Quarter. I don't think Ghost Quarter is where I want to be at. I guess I'll take Rao and Topaz. Alright. I should have cleared this thing before I resolved the second Thoughtseize, but that was the mountain that I drew for the turn. Alright. If I cast this thing first, then I can also cast opposition agents. I'm gonna get a swamp. We'll play this card. Yeah. I don't think they search their deck, so I don't think it matters if I do this now or on their turn. What I need to do, or I need to hope... Oh, it just drew mountains. Cool. Burning Wish is going to. So their hand is... can they go off with this? Oh, they can. Yeah, bonus round. All right. Yeah, I don't have much to stop them. But also, like, no, Ruby Storm is not a deck that we've been seeing being played very often these days. Yeah, so they get 2 copies of this. Not a whole lot there. They have 0 cards in hand. They can play this. I guess they can play one of the lands too. Actually, let me see. If I attack for 3, what's on top of my deck? Another hatchery. That doesn't really do anything. Yeah, because I'm also 12 life, so I don't really have that much going on here. Oops. That's marking big rocks. All right, so I can swing for 14 this turn. Play the mountain. If they found a passing flames or they found something. Okay, I'm also at 12 life, so the grape shot doesn't have to be for that much. All right, so I'm gonna swing for 14. Put them at 6. I think Thoughtseize is probably fine here. Yeah, definitely fine. All right, so I think I only lose to a passing flames, I think. Other than that, I think we're Metamorphose. All right, don't draw it, opponent. Don't draw it. Don't draw it. Don't draw it. Okay, cool. So what do we got here? I have got Leyline of the Void. I can bring Needle. Null Rod doesn't seem that good. I think they don't even play LEDs. I think they only run Lotus Petal. So Fatal Push has some text. Needle does not really have text. Life from the Loam can do. Oh, Opposition Agent doesn't really do anything. I know it looked okay in this last game, but it's not good against them. Smallpox, it's alright. I just want to keep the Toxic Deluge because if they make a line, if they play a line, if they play a line that makes a bunch of goblins, I'd rather have a way to do that. I mean, Smallpox can kill Rao. Orcish Bowmasters casts Gak. And Gak, I think, is my fastest clock, right? I mean, I can cut the Wastelands, I think, because they do play some non-basics. And with 27 lands against a deck that I'm not going to Wasteland them out of the game seems a little excessive. So maybe I can cut a Wasteland. Maybe Grist. All right, maybe Fatal Push. I think Fatal Push might just be too much since I already have Smallpox. Zuran Orb can gain life, but I don't think that's good. And well, I'm just gonna cut this Ghost Quarter. Maybe it's not the right thing to do, but I think the way I win is by not letting them have a graveyard and casting a Hogaak. Smallpox Bowmasters. This will be a good hand against a blue deck, but all right, I'm gonna keep this one. It's counterproductive to what I just said, but I should be able to find a Hogaak again. And also, I can't really cast Hogaak anytime soon. So, as we find out, the Malevolent Rumble tokens or artifact cannot cast Gag. So, I'm actually okay with just Thoughtseizing them a couple of turns. All right, so they have a lot of Burning Wishes. All right, I'm going to take Rao first. And, excuse me, you know what? I am going to take the other thing too now. So next turn I can cast Malevolent Rumble. And, all right, so their hand is literally Burning Wish. Okay. So it's whatever they get with Burning Wish. Okay, bonus rounds. All right. I'm just gonna cast this. Guess I got the hatchery. Um, they still need mana to be able to make this work. So I think I'm gonna try to dig for Smallpox, really. There's 3 Thoughtseize in the graveyard. I really wish I could have drawn the 3rd Thoughtseize instead of. No, lose it to Malevolent Rumble. Yeah, this is a really tough matchup. Like, no, like I said, Leyline and I don't even know what this card does. Oh, it's one of those effects that you can exile cards from the graveyard. I mean, top of your deck and then play them. Okay, cool. That is pretty neat. That goes to the graveyard. I need a Grist, Thoughtseize, or Smallpox. Smallpox would be probably my best draw here. Because they only have 2 lands. Pirate Tinkering. That card looks like it could be from Urza's block. Opponent's deep in the tank. Or maybe just had to answer the phone. Eumidian Hatchery. Pretty cool card. Card from the, still new. I've seen some lists playing, I think it's called Pegasus Stampede. See if I got the right name. It's a card from, yeah, Pegasus Stampede is from like, card from Exodus. I remember opening booster packs with this card. It was an uncommon from Exodus. It's like a 1 white, another. You can make a Pegasus token, and the way you flashback is by sacking a land, and then voila. So you can play a black and white version of this deck that I'm playing. I thought it was pretty neat. But then yeah, this version having Zuran Orb is also pretty cool. Gaining the extra 2 life, it's relevant a lot of times in Legacy. And also should keep track of here. So they did cast 2 of those Burning Wishes, right? Oops. So their hand is another Burning Wish, bonus round, this thing, and 2 cards that I don't know. Okay, it doesn't look like opponent got disconnected or anything, so. Alright, so it looked like opponent was disconnected and then they just connected again. Yeah, so Boseiju pretty good at killing Medallion, but not mountains. Alright, so I'm gonna make a black mana. Alright. That's pretty good. As good as it probably gets, like drawing all 4. Thoughtseize. So bonus round. I think I'm gonna take Burning Wish. They have a lot of mana. I'm gonna say something. Oh. He said something about the internet went out or something. Which it happens. I just realized I'm at 11 life and my opponent hasn't even attacked me. Alright, it can be good. I wish this was a type of Eldrazi spawn that like, it's a 1/1. Oh, okay. So now they have a. Well, they have a target now for my Boseiju, I guess. Okay, so they exiled more mana. They make mana too, right? So it doesn't really. Let's just play this. Take some damage. Still using Boseiju seems not great. I'm gonna kill this. It's gonna get a. It's gonna get a mountain. I can't destroy one of my own lands, which is very, very annoying. I think they found something here. So the treasure tokens were created by this spell. I don't think makes me want to. I still don't want to bring Null Rod. Like if we go to next game. What is the thing again? Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell during your turn, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, so much stuff going on, it's hard to read. All right, if you lose the flip, deal some damage to you. If you win the flip, you may exile Ral. If you do, return it to the battlefield. Okay, cool. So they just lose the flip 3 times. You have to flip how many times? If you do, return it to the battlefield. Okay, yeah. All right. Passing Flames. Yeah. Interesting. I was trying to see what the other side of Ral does. The Ral does 2 damage divided. You choose among the 2 targets. Exact top 8 cards of your life. You may cast them, but you have to get up there first, right? The next turn. Oh crap! So he probably just wins the game if that happens. All right. I am going to let's see. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. Okay, so they have to exile the 8 cards. Oh man. What does Magical Line does that? I can't really tell. Is Burning Wish one of the cards revealed? Because if that's what it is, then the game is over. But it doesn't really show you, I guess. I'm assuming, yeah, this Burning Wish is the one that they found. Okay. All right, so they can just grab Grape Shot, I guess. Or Element Eruption. Okay. That's a lot of dragons. And they can take an extra turn after that. Does it have any downside to that card? The beginning of the next turn. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, yeah, they got it. So Toxic Deluge makes sense. Maybe Needle for Ral, but then I'm gonna have even less. Or do I just bring Fatal Push? Alright, I'm gonna try something like this. Oh, hang on a sec. I should have mulliganed to Leyline. Uh-oh. Or the game within the game is that they're going to mulligan to a hand that's good against Leyline. And then I'm not going to have Leyline, so. Alright, so. Leave it on top. Alright, bonus round. So I can never cast Hogaak with Leyline in play, right? So. Oh, did they find something already? Oh, Rao. Alright, so I have an answer to that, which is great. So how I want to do this? I think I'm gonna Bayou. Gak can go. Yeah, it's kind of awkward that Smallpox is double black. They're missing a land drop. I'm gonna try to attack. That's what I gotta do. I found a land. They use, what do they cast? Rite of Flames. So Rite of Flames is going. Let's get ready to rumble. I guess it'd be Bowmasters. I could cast Bowmasters or Grist. I think it's gonna be this into Bowmasters. I think this one's like the one that kickstarts the chain. Still like gonna be super tight if I do win this game. I lost another Smallpox, right? So if I draw a Smallpox, I think I have a reasonable chance of winning. Otherwise, who knows? Just gonna get a Orcish Bowmasters. Let me see if I can. I'm just gonna cast Needle on Rao. Don't remember which one it is. I'm gonna have to look it up. Oh, There's one right here. Monsoon Mage. But I think I want to do the other side, right? So it's Raw Leyline Prodigy. Yeah. So Raw Leyline Prodigy. All right. That was it was an interesting game. I did not think I was gonna win this game. This matchup seems horrendous. All right. So 3-0. Let's see if we can keep the winning streak going. All right, so we're round 4. Again, if you haven't had a chance to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, this is a good time to do that. If you like Legacy, if you like pre-modern, that'll be a good time to do that. And all right, so this hand, I mean, we have some 3 drops. The only thing I'm like a little concerned is the double Hogaak, but I think it's fine. Also, it's, for this deck, it's kind of a little concerned that there's no basic forest, but I think it makes sense since we're this list is running Smallpox, right, and having double black. Very important. I think maybe like having a couple of Urborgs might have been beneficial. All right, land, like land. I'm assuming this is not do or maybe lands. Oh, okay, so it's probably not do or breakfast. One of those decks. The Surveil lands are just so good in this in Legacy. It is amazing how good they are. I think I'm gonna try to get them with opposition agent, right? The kitty. Yeah. All right, let me do this right now. Because they might counter this. They didn't. All right. So now I can cast Fatal Push on my turn. Try to kill Cat. And then cast Grist. Interesting. Okay. Sweet, everything's just resolving. I don't want that Smallpox. Alright, so they've got 6 cards in hand. Apparently no counter magic. Probably a Swords to Plowshares, right? Could be Prismatic Ending on this. Oh, open Origins. Okay. Bowmasters here will be sweet. What do I want to do? And the problem here is that I can loam to grab these lands, but I don't really have any good targets for them after that is not very good. The other option is to mill, create a token, and try to cast Hogaak. I guess. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's see if I do. If I do like this. All right, then I can play a Wasteland. And play this thing. Can't really cut them off of any collars, right? One, two, three, four, 5. I just leave the life on loam there. Yeah, it's probably fine. Oops. The next turn I can loam plus mill with grist. And I need to put them in a situation that, yes, they can cast not do, but then I can kill it with grist. So and if I mill like a wasteland, I can wasteland the I can probably wasteland the blue mana. Wow. Okay, this worked out. Hmm. So this is good against, well, it's a good against Nadu. Maybe just one Needle and Toxic Deluge. Zuran Orb is okay-ish. I'm gonna keep the opposition agent. And it seems like they're playing not the breakfast, like it's probably the quote unquote mid range Nadu. I don't know what else I want to cut here. I really don't want to cut any of these. Maybe Mox Diamond. Ghost Quarter is a card that I keep looking at. I was like, I don't know if I want this card. I can cut a, see if I cut a swamp, does it do anything? They do have a bunch of ways to make black mana. This Ghost Quarter. I think Ghost Quarter is not great. Maybe one Gag. Okay, I think this hand is pretty decent. That's what the kids say these days. Wow. I think I have to take. If I take Prismatic Ending, We'll just take an undo. If I take Seal and Safekeeper, they don't have a play this turn. On my turn, I can. The problem is Smallpox, they can just get around with Seal and Safekeeper. And then they can kill my. Yeah, I'm gonna take Seal and Safekeeper. Not sure if this. They're probably just gonna get a. Oh, Portical. I thought they were gonna get a Arbor. Yeah, because Smallpox is okay, but I just remember that if they have a fetch in play, they can sack that as a creature. Gets a little awkward for me. They shouldn't have a turn 2, right? Unless they put something on top. Yeah, they did put on top though. Excuse me. Alright, so they are in a situation now they can maybe play Nadu, or they can, I don't know, kill Grist. Brainstorm. Made some decisions here. Could have had Bowmasters in play. So let's see what they're gonna do. They're gonna, if they cast a creature here, like a cub. I really want to draw what should we call Life from Loam here. Wow, okay. That's all I gotta do. Just ask for it. Oh, hold on, that doesn't cast anything. All right, so I'm just gonna do this and swing for 1. All right, and unfortunately, I don't have any Lotus Petals or anything like this in this deck. So, but if I draw a land, then I can grab Mox Diamond with Saga, and then this is another prismatic ending, or is it Nadu? 3 fairy. All right. If they bounce anything else other than Orcish Bowmasters, they're gonna bounce my Saga. Okay. Interesting. That is actually not bad at all for me. I'll make another token. How I want to go about this? I think. Well, first of all, I think I'm going to attack. The hand should be double Nadu. Prismatic End is gone. Windswept Heath. Still Safekeeper. Okay, so they have Forest, double Nadu, and a mystery card. Alright, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and Play this for now. Nope. This and this. Jesus. All right. And Grist's last ability doesn't do much in this deck. Because I don't have that many creatures. So the ultimate is like basically non-existent. Alright, so they're gonna play Nadu. That guy. Okay. They can't brainstorm though. Where's the Plowshares? Alright. They have a Tropical Island. Green Sun Zenith. So I haven't seen a Force of Will, so. Oh, another Nomad. Oh, that's right. There's one here. I wonder if it's correct for me to bring Dread at Night against them too. Instead of Smallpox. This is just free, right? So I should just probably. Oh, hold on a second. That doesn't work. I should have. Oh my gosh. I should have just, yeah, killed the Dried Arbor instead of giving them a free thing. Yeah. That was not very smart of me. Green Sun Zenith. Again, there's no Force of Will. Maybe there's a chance. I'm not gonna do this. They have to make a decision now. Very macabre. Okay, I think the only way I win out is if they brainstorm into double Orcish Bowmasters. Also, it looks like they don't have Force of Will in their deck, right? Am I seeing things? Okay, they're gonna consign to memory that. Yeah. So It's so strange. It does look like they don't have Force of Will in their deck, which is good for me to know. Yeah, so they find my card with my Life from the Loam. But yeah, it does seem like if I have a Dreaded Knight in play, they'll have a hard time comboing. So go to game 3. Maybe that's what I should do. I do like Smallpox because it doesn't target the creature. So like if they just play and I do, which I don't think they're gonna do, but at this point I'm just kind of like collecting information, really. In my graveyard. Oh, they have an endurance too, so it wasn't gonna happen anyways. Okay, so I think I should maybe consider bringing Dreaded Knight, I guess, for game 3. Is it better than Smallpox? Not sure. I think I don't have any way to sack the hatchery if I don't have that. Alright, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this. What did they reveal? I'm gonna fetch again. Alright. I'm gonna try to cast endurance, right? Oh, force negation. So they do have some kind of force in the deck. Alright, so they have Veil of Summer too. Oh, I can't. That's all right. That's right. I can't target their thing with my Grist. So let's see. Yeah, I think this is might be a legit plan here. Toxic Deluge still seems okay, maybe. Um, Needle's got some targets. I can get some Mox Diamonds because they are a bit of a liability when they're playing Prismatic Ending. And maybe I can cut a Needle since I'm going to go with this plan. Bring this thing so I can actually use the hatchery. Alright, let's try this. Okay. I think this is fine. Oh lord. I think I'm gonna take the Light Halfling. Because if they need to fetch and get a non-basic, then I can wasteland them. They're gonna ponder. That changed things a little bit, I guess. If I draw land, I just wasteland them anyways. If I don't, then I can get Malevolent Rumble. Did not draw land, so let's play the more safe route here. We get Orcish Bowmasters. And on my turn, I could either Malevolent Rumble or Brainstorm. Yeah, a good one to do now. But also draw the Knight, and then all right. So they brainstormed, but didn't go any further. All right, so let's wasteland them. Cool. Let's get ready to rumble. Oof, nothing. Except for a token. All right, there is a Life and Loam in the graveyard though, so it's not all terrible. It's an island. All right, those guys. Bayou, Wasteland. What is this one? Hatchery. We got Hatchery. Okay, so next turn, I don't think I'm gonna loam. I really want to find the thing that stops all the nomads on core. So I'm not gonna do this. Oh, sweet. Force a negation. Did I just die now? Well, not yet, right? But not looking very good. They have another one of these guys. I guess I have to get Grist. Okay. All right, so they have a few triggers there. I think my plan was gonna work if I drew the Dread Knight. What do they got? Lands. If they break, I guess I can still win. First Plowshare, that's still fine. Brainstorm. Okay. All right. Maybe they have to fetch a non-basic to cast something. Oh. I'm gonna try Thoughtseize first. Okay, Endurance. All right, so I could put them down to 2 lands. I mean, they're probably going to store my Orcish Bowmasters before this happens. I mean, before Thoughtseize resolves. All right, so they have... What does Get Lost? What? Okay. I think... Just take Brainstorm? Do this for 4 again. It's probably just going to lose to a Endurance. Unless I don't have another... Oh no, maybe I should have Wasteland them before... Yeah, because then I would get Endurance too. Oh, they're not casting Endurance. All right. I'm not going to keep track of that. I didn't want to cast it. I'm at 3 life. I mean, 6 life. Maybe they'll... I mean, they can still do it, I guess, if they have a force that they can fetch for this. Yeah, I should have... It turns out it didn't matter because they're going to do it at the end of the turn anyways, but I should have probably Wasteland them first and then cast the Toxic Deluge. Dip it on top. Nadu. All right. Nadu. So if I draw the thing that I can't do this. Go to 1. Yeah, I think that's the play. There are 14 life. Yeah, I really need to draw a what's the name of the card? Zuran Orb. If I draw, oh, hang on a sec. They do have the thing in their hand, right? So Wasteland, Mortuary, Boseiju. I think I'm just gonna lose to this, right? Because I don't have a. Yeah. All right. It was a pretty close game. I think the plan to have the Dreaded Knights was gonna work if not, of course, if I drew it. I did bring them in, right? Because I didn't I drew kind of quite a lot of. No, okay, yeah. So I just didn't draw. All right, well played, opponent. So 3-1. Let's see if we can finish with a strong 4-1. All right, 5th and final round of the league. Apologies if this round felt a little rushed at the end. It's just that as I was finishing the round, like I got a phone call. But if you like Legacy, if you like Pre-Modern and you haven't done it yet, this is a good time for subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and again, leave the comments below on card choices, lines of play, whatever you like you didn't like in the video. I really like to see the comments and the feedback and suggestions that I get back from you guys. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna play the mirror. I mean, not the mirror, but the same matchup again. So I think I'm just gonna go Hatchery. I'm just gonna discard this. And I think I'm gonna try to kill this guy. I'm gonna get forced. It will get forced. All right. So Tamio is the card that they pitched. Well, then I think the play here next turn is just to Smallpox and get rid of this guy. Oh, cool. I don't know if they play Days, but I'm not trying to find out the wrong way. All right, maybe I should have just played my Wasteland. Did I mess up? I think I messed this up. Yeah, that was terrible of me. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I should have just Wastelanded them. That's definitely a terrible mistake. Okay, so let's bring Dreaded Knight, this thing, and what else do I want? I think maybe Ghost Quarter can get out. Yeah, Hogaak just doesn't seem very good against his decks. Or does it? I don't know. Opposition Agent, if they're playing Saga, seems okay. I'm gonna cut this around Orb. Wow, that was really bad of me. I guess I'll bring Needle. And I have to have the Zuran Orb though, like otherwise the hatchery doesn't do anything. All right, so this hand looks pretty good. Get to get perfect information on turn 1. Force negation. All right. Seems aggressive. Um. Hmm. I want to do this. I wanted Smallpox to kill a creature, but you know what? I'm just gonna do this. Seems a little weird, but I think it makes sense. There's a Shuko. I can needle that, I guess. Oh, not black. Let's make green mana. They have counter magic. I think it's just really, really bad for me, but I'm gonna brainstorm first. Okay. Oh, 2 force negations if he casts this game? Oh, they banned one of them with. Okay, I see now. Alright, so that's gonna resolve. Yeah, so the game might just be over here if they have the Cephalid in their hand. I couldn't double Wasteland them, so. Tamio. Alright. So we keep playing the game. I think I'm just gonna take a draw here. I think I'm gonna take this out of the way. And we go to the next step. Okay. I could double Wasteland them. But I think this is just so much better, right? Alright, so I'm gonna discard Life from Loam. Against Dex 1. Alright, so now Do is also in their deck. Alright, if we do go to game 3, it's gonna be super tough to win, but that's how I play the game, right? Okay, so since they just play excuse me, just play a fetch, I'm gonna try to find land number 3. I found land number 3. I'm not gonna loam. I can try to get them with the opposition agents. I get to fetch with the other one. Okay. I'm on the draw now. I think I definitely have to have these. I don't know why I didn't have this in the first game. I mean, second game. I don't know if I want to cut all the Mox Diamonds. I don't think this deck can cut Mox Diamond. Otherwise, I'm just too slow, I think. I like Smallpox. I like Needle, especially now that I saw Tamio. Grist can kill Tamio too. I mean, I've shaved some number of I'm sorry, Mox Diamonds with decks that I played in the past, but I don't think I would have a deck I want to put all 4. I don't know. I don't know what to cut here. And I have I did add some 1-drops and pre-game effects, so overall, like, I am casting things faster. Right, so this hand, for instance, seems pretty good. I have Leyline to stop that side of the combo. And I have Orcish Bowmasters. Yeah, it's a Tamio. I guess I'll play Mortuary first. And that goes to Graveyard. Don't need a second one. I'm gonna Ponder. Did not find a second land. I'll be. Okay, and I'm not gonna lie, I won't be too sad if my opponent doesn't find it. All right, they have a counter magic. What did they exile so far? Force. Okay. Game is gonna attack again. All right, so they don't cast anything here. Oh, they did. I'm pretty sure I want Bowmasters to resolve next turn. Oh, they still don't have land number 2. Okay, so I'm gonna just play Bayou and pass. So maybe they expect me to have opposition agent, but not Orcish Bowmasters. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Okay. So I think you have to kill that one first. In this case, I should have just probably not done the way I did it. Seems a little too desperate, but do I want to do it this way? I'm gonna wasteland myself and then make tokens and use one of the tokens to kill this. All right, hopefully this doesn't backfire on me. It's just a Shuko. Okay. That's okay. They're gonna attack this guy. Huh. If I do this now, then I can triple block it. I think it's fine. It's just... Okay. I need to kill that thing first. Kill this one. Okay. Then this Smallpox. All right, cool. So 4-1, and I messed up. I forgot to put the deck in the background. I think it felt good to win the last match after the way I played game 2. I'm sorry, game 1. It was very winnable. I just kind of fumbled with the land drops. Yeah, so I mean, I think the deck is pretty sweet. And I know people love to see Smallpox being played and Pox style decks, and I think that for a while, like, I mean, kind of like became like memes, like, you know, like people joke about Nick Fit and decks like that. Yeah, like, no, I think longer gone the days you could play Smallpox and Sinkhole, like, you know, Liliana the Veil. Like, I don't think that's gonna cut anymore, like in Legacy. But this list seemed pretty solid. I'm assuming the 4 Null Rods here again, like I mentioned in the intro, like I'm assuming the person that built this deck, it was really concerned against the Mystic Forge decks. I guess a true Storm deck too. It's probably hard for you to beat. Like, no, that was the one round that I think it was around 2 or 3 that we played against Ruby Storm, and you kind of like, you feel like you're a sitting duck, right? Because you don't really have this list doesn't have like mind break traps or anything like that. So and Null Rod's not even super good against that deck. Like I mentioned, I think the only card that they play is Lotus Petal that's affected by Null Rod. But if it was like a true, like, Saga Storm or TS, then Null Rods are very good. And this deck can cast on turn 1. I don't know if you want to have Mox Diamonds and Null Rods in the same time, but maybe you do, because again, if they're a turn 1, turn 2 deck, you do have to have an answer early in the game. So yeah, it feels like it's pretty straightforward to try and do here, like Null Rods and 4 Leyline of the Void. So that's really to stop some of the combo decks in the format, right? And then Dread Knight, that card's like, again, I think it's funny because we just talked about it, like in the Legacy Small Talk podcast, the podcast that I have the link below actually on this video that I recorded with Jared and Mike. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, we talked to Adam, who won the showcase with the Death and Taxes recently, and it's like, oh, Dread Knight's a card that I was jokingly saying like, oh, maybe we should bring back Dread Knight, but then Death and Taxes doesn't get affected by it. But Core Steel Cutter does, and the not do decks do too, right? Because of Nomad Zen Core. So with Mystic Forge, usually I like to have Needle to stop the Encore guys. But I think Dread Knight might just be a little bit better. Or maybe you can just have both in the deck. It was really, I know you guys could tell, like I was struggling to figure out like what side out, side in with this deck. I guess the idea you really, the person that created the deck probably has a much better idea, right? Because you have a specific plan against decks, and then that's how I try to figure out when I try to side cards inside out, right? Like, what does the winning board state looks like when you win against X deck, right? And then you try to cut the cards that they're not part of that plan, right? So, and I think against the I guess I call it mid range Nadu. I was having a hard time figuring that out. So Toxic Deluge seemed pretty good too, but I don't know if it did enough. Felt like the 3 times I cast, it was okay. One card that maybe I was thinking it should be in this deck is the Flute. I think Flute might be a good replacement for Toxic Deluge, actually. Flute's really good against Doomsday. It's probably good against Nadu too. Is another card that you can just name Nadu with that card, or you can name the Encores. It's got Flash, so it's always crazy like that. You can kind of like gotcha moments against your opponents. So yeah, I think if I was gonna play this deck again, maybe instead of the Toxic Deluge, I'll have 2 copies of Flute. The Nihil Spellbomb, it was alright. It is a good way to supplement the Leyline of the Void, and just the fact that it cycles, I guess it's good too. Like this deck doesn't, even though it looks like a lands deck because you have Life from Loam, but no, there's no Bojuka Bog here because there's no tutor effects really. Like no Malevolent Rumble is not really a tutor. I feel like this is more like a cantrip, sort of like a like impulse for this deck. Yeah, and the main deck seemed pretty tight. I liked it. I think the numbers seemed correct. The cards that you really want to draw early in the game, they're all, or cards that like you really want to resolve, like they're all here, like Thoughtseize, Orcish Bowmasters, and Smallpox. And then the other ones are kind of like just things that work with this. And Malevolent Rumble, of course, because it just helps the deck's consistency, right? Because you're playing a deck that doesn't really have too many ways to manipulate the top of the deck. The Underground Mortuary seemed amazing in this deck too. I really liked it. I think the number two copies seems good. Ghost Quarter, and I think I might have mentioned in another deck that I recently recorded. I don't remember which one it was. I think I just didn't like it. I wasn't really into it because I didn't play against, again, Mystic Forge, right? So like Ghost Quarter is really, really good against those decks. But I didn't get paired against any Mystic Forge deck. So as you could probably notice, every time I was sideboarding, I was like, maybe Ghost Quarter should come out because I played against people that were players that were playing well around Wastelands, or their decks just didn't have any really good targets for Ghost Quarter. So that's why maybe it looks terrible. Like, and I'm like, maybe I should cut. But if I had got paired against Mystic Forge a couple of times, maybe I'll be singing a different tune where it's like, oh, Ghost Quarter is amazing, right? Because it's basically Wasteland number 5 against that deck, right? They don't play any basic lands. But yeah, I don't know if I have any more thoughts on the deck. The deck seems really cool. I think I'm gonna put some Eumidian Hatcheries in my cart online and maybe pick them up. We've, like, here locally, we start having so we have the league that we play monthly, but we also have a couple of more like casual, on the casual side, like events, like lower entry fee. Like, so this seems like the kind of deck that I'll have a blast playing one of those events until maybe this deck gets more tuned, or if I get better with it. So yeah, the card seems cool. Like I've saw people talking about Eumidian Hatchery, and when I looked at it, there were, people were also commenting like how it would be good in Pox, and I was like, as soon as I heard new card Pox, I was like, okay, cool. This is like a casual card, like, no, you guys just want to have fun playing Pox. But no, it seems the card is for real. And Smallpox, Eumidian Hatchery seemed amazing. Zuran Orb plus that card also seemed really good. So yeah, it's not a meme. I think it's a legit strategy. And then with that, again, if you could kindly hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I would love to hear feedback on this deck. I know, like I said, Smallpox, Pox type of decks are usually fan favorites, and I like them too. The reason why I own Tabernacle is not because of lands, is because Pox used to run Tabernacle way back when. So that's how long I've been playing Pox here and there. So yeah, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave your comments below, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.